So internet, it is your boy Wes Gardner, and I'm joined by the CEO of Brothering Around, Mr. Marco Flores.
Hey guys.
Yeah, and we're actually here this time. Our marketing and communications department and our press secretary said it's best for us to break the news that this episode we will not be telling you to subscribe to
That's
the
right.
amazing Audible, the audibletrial.com/brothering around.
That's right.
Um,
They told us you should not, maybe not check out audibletrial.com/brothering around, where they have over 180,000 titles to choose from. They also told us not to say that you can pick your own free book if you
yeah.
do click on the link of audibletrial.com/brothering around. They told us not to do this today, so
Yeah, they
we're
said
regret
not
to
to,
inform you.
and they said really emphasize the fact that they should not go get their free book at audibletrial.com/brothering around. Uh, they said, it does play on any device that can listen to the podcast, but they said be
That's
sure
right.
not to really go too in depth, not to mention it. So it's with great empathy and sympathy that we tell you definitely don't go to audibletrial.com/brothering around and get your free books. Don't do that.
Don't do it. We apologize.
Sincerely, please understand. Oh man, episode number 32 is here. Just a tough day for the press secretary. Just
Yeah, I know. He has to deal with the brunt of the work, and you know, everybody just yelling at him like blah blah blah.
yeah, the interns.
Why
I mean,
why
those phones were going off the hook today.
like a telethon
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, we're like raising money for
for
Jerry's
PBS.
kids. Yeah, it's like Jerry's Kids Marathon. I'm trying to think of the most outdated telethon I possibly could.
Oh man, what's going on,
Oh,
dude?
not much, man. It's episode 32 of
32. Yeah,
Brothering Around. I'm Wes Gardner, Mr. Comedy Hobo himself, and that's Mr. Marco Flores.
yeah, we're back, back to
Nerd in the
back,
Bay.
back to
Yeah,
back
man.
weeks.
That's right. Getting back to the flow of it. And
Yeah,
this
man.
past week was kind of your wheelhouse, my friend, with
Yeah, a
San
little
Diego
bit.
Comic-Con.
Yeah, a
Uh,
little bit. People announce stuff, announce trailers. Uh, let's see. They have panel interviews and stuff. The people that go to these panels ask questions to the celebrities or whoever about whatever they're fan of. It's whether it's a show or movie or comic book, whatever. I think my favorite clip so far is somebody was asking a question to Harrison Ford, and this was a Blade Runner panel, and
yeah.
the guy asked, "Is your goal in life to reboot every single franchise that you started with?" And everybody,
Right.
it was getting a rising chuckle and like, oh, right.
Yeah.
So Harrison Ford was like, leans in, he's like, "You bet your ass I am."
Yeah.
So I was
Huge
laughing, I was
crowd
laughing
roar.
hysterically, like, dude, like, because Harrison Ford is at that age. He's kind of like Gran Torino in real life,
True.
at his age. So yeah, that was my probably like my favorite like clip of San Diego Comic Con. But yeah, trailers were released. Thor Ragnarok was cool. I like what I saw in the trailer. Justice League, I still don't know what to expect from it. And Stranger
Yeah.
Things, saw season one. We're excited
Hmm.
for season two.
Good deal.
And I mean, I saw the Star Trek. I forgot the Star Trek Discovery, I think is the name of the show that's coming out for CBS. I didn't do a
Oh.
reaction trailer because at this point I feel like I'm doing too many,
Yes.
and then
Oversaturation.
my yeah, oversaturation, and my channel's taken over by reaction trailers. But yeah, like I saw that, I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. It is what it is. So yeah, not don't have like overall strong opinions about it. It just happened, and it's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
You know,
Good times.
yeah,
Yeah, I've just been
yeah,
playing way too many video games, which I guess is a good problem to have.
yeah.
But
That is a good problem to have.
dude, I've been playing more Final Fantasy 12 from that
Oh,
PS
okay,
the
yeah,
PS4 remake that they did. Or
yeah,
I say remake, it's more of a remaster, and It's a okay. So in the twisted web of Final Fantasy 12, there are actually now 3 versions of the game. So they had
yeah, international version.
exactly. So they had the standard edition that came out, and I got the old special edition with the steelbook case back before steelbooks were cool.
Right.
So I pulled the hipster, and I got one way back when. Actually, I worked that night. I worked the night because I was at GameStop at the time, and I worked the night of the Final Fantasy 12 midnight launch, and there were five people there. One random duder,
a rocking 5 people.
Yeah, a huge uproarious crowd of 5 people. So
yeah,
it was 4 employees, and then one random duder. And that was it.
Okay.
We were in and out at 12:04, I think. Like we were like, let's just all leave, and then we all bought it, and let's go home and play it. But it is my favorite Final Fantasy. I think I said this on a YouTube video, but 7 is kind of the soft spot for me because that's the one I really got into first. But 12 is the best one. Like 12 is just on another level. That game was made for me. You know, whenever you play a game and you're like, God, this is me. They dug into my brain and they were like, what are the things that you like? And I'm going to put them all here because I love Final Fantasy Tactics. So they're like, why don't we take the world of Final Fantasy Tactics and Vagrant Story, right? And like Tactics Ogre. So it's like, let's get that whole team. And then I'm like, you know what I also like? I also like massively multiplayer games. I like getting fetch quests and going and killing 10 ostriches and then coming back and getting a reward. And they're like, well, I got good news for you. You're going to be killing a shit ton of ostriches in this game and getting all the boar pelts you can possibly imagine. And so I was like, great. And then they're like, oh, and another thing. We're going to make it to where you do rare hunts. So according to the province you're in or the location or the time, there's going to be a wild thing that you have to go kill. And it's only there for a limited time. And then if you kill it and then come back to me, I'll give you some rare shit. And I'm like, I'm down. And so this game was totally made for me. And it wasn't, teenagers save the world. It was, here's really crazy political backstabbing. And I was like, give me that. And so the whole thing, just amazing. And then in Europe, in Japan, they made what was called the International Edition or the Zodiac Edition, which changed the way the job system worked. It changed a few of the things, added some bosses, added some dungeons. So it's basically like a redux. Like they looked at it and they were like, we like how we made this, but let's tweak a few things. And then they tweaked that, never came to America, right? So then, of course, they make this PS4 remaster, which is hopefully also going to come to Steam. And it takes all of the improvements of the International Edition. It up-reses everything to 1080p, remasters the soundtrack. They go in, they tweak difficulty settings, they do all that, and then re-release it. And that's what I've been playing for, God, I think my save file already says like 17 hours, and it's been out for a week. So, that's kind of crazy for me, what my schedule is like.
Yeah, for sure.
Given any amount of time like that to something the week it comes out, it's kind of nuts.
Like going back to your Diablo Whirlwind Barbarian days. In a sense.
The US East world ranking. Like craziness. But that's what it feels like, It's like, oh, finally I get to, of course, part of me is like, I should be streaming this. If I'm playing this game, I should be streaming it on Twitch, because once you become here's the thing, kids. Once you become a content creator, you're never free ever again. Because exactly. And it's like what you're saying. You were like, you know what? I saw that Star Trek thing and I thought about making a video. And it's like, that's what we do now. It's I ate this delicious ice cream. I better put up a vlog about it. I should
probably record this.
My people really want to know about this ice cream.
Right.
I don't know why we do that to ourselves.
But now, it's unless we do that, right? Unless we go sell our soul for that next part, right? Like say back then we were like, oh no, we're not gonna do reaction videos or unboxing. That's too YouTube-ish.
That's cheap. I'm not a carny. What do you think this is? Yeah.
Right. And then once you get past that line, we're like, should I just record me eating and describe what it tastes like and how it makes you feel inside. And,
and then you get
like
1,000 followers immediately.
Yeah,
and you're like, what?
Immediately.
What the fuck?
Because you became the foodie guy now.
Yeah, and now you're known as that, and now there's a certain segment of your fan base that's like, what do you mean you play video games? I want you to. I want to watch you eat more ice cream.
Exactly.
Like,
and then you got to make multiple channels for your different things.
Nerd in the Bay Food Edition.
Yeah.
Nerd.
That's the one goal I want to not do is that I want to keep everything that I do in one channel, and it's like free for all. You got to find the video that you want.
You get to treasure trove. You just dig in.
I'm not going to help you out there, and just dig into the bargain bin, and
you just got to discover it, man. That's right. You don't know how old that candy is in the bargain bin, but there's one good box. There's one good box, and you better get it.
I made one candy video, and you got to look for it within all the mobile games, with the reaction videos, with the podcasts. And,
absolutely. 100%. That's the way to do it, man. Make people work for it. Then they feel more invested.
That's how you get popular.
That's it. Yeah, make people do things and go out of their own comfort zone. That's a great way to get people.
Right.
So ridiculous. But yeah, you always feel guilty because you're like playing a game and you're like, I could be streaming this or I could be recording this or something.
Yeah.
But then at the end of the day, you got to be like, well, I'm just going to chill the fuck out. Like
I'm gonna do me, and I want to play this game.
I'll just tell people that I'm playing it. Like that's as in depth it's going to get.
There you go.
But then another on the flip side, before we get to the other topics, it's like now I'm playing that and that game's so good, and I'm like, does this qualify for a top 5 of 2017?
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Because, and here's the thing, I can see it both ways. Because technically, absolutely not. Because this is like an 11-year-old game.
Right.
But is it? Because America never got this edition.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
You know, now you're getting to the semantics. Now it's like, so probably what's going to happen, and spoiler alert for the end of the year, on that top 5 video, I'm probably going to have an honorable mention, and it'll be Final Fantasy XII Zodiac Age. Like, I think that's the best way to do it, because I get to tell people, hey, you should really play this. It didn't come out this year, but this game's great. You need to get it. And then move on. Like a Game Informer, they did a top 100 RPGs of all time. And their number one was Skyrim, which I was like, sure, whatever. It brought a lot of people in. Like, I get it. It's a safe bet. But then they had a number 0, and it was Dungeons and Dragons. And they basically said, like, none of this would exist without D&D.
Oh, for sure. Okay,
I was like, fair play, man. Like, good tip of the hat, you know?
Yeah.
So that's what we got to do.
Who you should ask that if it's okay or not is the new editor of Imran Khan.
That's right.
For Game Informer.
Nitro Beard's own. I told him, I was like...
I didn't see that coming, man.
I didn't either, man.
He's been leaning towards Game Informer, but...
Yes, he was working... I mean, he was working towards a lot of more official... even within Nitro Beard. And, you know, we even had those talks where he was like, do you mind if I, like, scout around? And I was like, dude, fucking go for it. Like, are you kidding me? Like, who are we? Bunch of yokels to be like, no, the sanctity of Nitro Beard comes before all. Right. Like, no, get out of here.
Where is your loyalty?
Yeah, how dare you? Backstabber.
Loyalty don't pay my light bill, man.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, I gotta feed people. But super proud of that guy because he, out of everyone we brought at Nitro Beard, he was the one that went about it in the way that, like, it makes total sense that he got aboard a big thing like Game Informer. If he was a bigger PC guy, he'd be on PC Gamer. Like, I guarantee it. Like, that's just the way his ethic is. And it's good to see that, you know, and it's good to see him be successful, like, on his own. Like, he did the jump cast. Yeah, he did the beard cast. He wrote some stuff for Nitro Beard. Like, I'm not going to sit here and be like, well, you know, we found Imran Khan. Like, no. Right. Imran Khan worked his ass off. And, like, we were just lucky enough to be able to have a platform for him to be able to use it.
Yeah.
and kind of hone whatever skills he wanted. And really, the way we ran Nitro Beard, it's kind of the way we run Hobo Network and Brothering Around. And we want the person. You know what I mean? Like, with all the, well, I don't do things the way you normally do. Is that okay? Yeah. Like, that's why you get brought on to do these projects, is because you don't do things the way we do. And we want bigger ideas and bigger voices and, that type of stuff. And I think the games industry as a whole needs more of that. And I'm super happy for him to be in that spot, because now he gets a platform. He gets a real, true, honest to God, worldwide platform. And I think he's going to be, I don't know if this is secret stuff, but I know he's going to be on the next edition of the Game Informer show, like how they do the video podcasts and stuff. So he's going to be on that. And then, so he'll be doing the GI show and a few other things. And he's, there you go. I will say, and Marco, you know this because you got a little inside scoop a few weeks ago that I sent you. Now we're getting actual inside scoops, like shit that people don't know, and it's kind of crazy exciting. So yeah, that's the one I sent you like 2 weeks ago, I think, about a certain release date of a certain item.
Right.
That has yet to be announced. So that's cool. We get to hear some inside baseball about shit we can't talk about.
Yeah, exactly.
So it doesn't. I mean, it doesn't really do anyone any good. It's just nice to know.
Nice to know that we can have that information, and then
we could just
share it between the two of us. And
just talk about it amongst ourselves and like tee, and like try to hint. But the thing is, I mean, even since the Oblivion, whenever we broke that Oblivion story, like we've had had insiders for years, and I still have insiders. Can't release those names whatsoever. But it's like, and I'll pass certain info along to certain people if it's relevant and stuff like that. But Marco, you're one of the guys that I'm like, okay, we learned a thing. Here's what's coming, and then we just keep it close to the chest. And it's kind of nice to be in that shtick. But now Imran is there at a whole other level. Like he's, I always liken it to there's an old Bill Hicks joke about whenever you get elected president and you become president of the United States, like the Secret Service wheels you into a secret room and then they show you the hidden angle of the JFK assassination, and they're like, okay, you better not fuck up. Like I bet that's what being on the inside scoops of the video game shit. That's like, we'll show you the PlayStation 7, but if you mention a word of it, we will hire a hitman to come after you. Like Sony's serious. Like it's like being in the mob now.
It's like everyone got their position, and then Nicolas Cage visits him, and he's asking for the president's book. Because he became national treasure all of a sudden. Yeah, he's like, everyone's like, turn to page 42.
And he does.
You do it? Yes, sir, I can.
Yeah, I sure can. So good. Speaking of Nick Cage, and this kind of ties into Comic-Con shit. You know what movie was on TV and we watched, and I saw bits of it whenever it came out, but now I watched it again. Freaking Ghost Rider.
Ghost Rider. Okay.
Have you seen Ghost Rider before?
I've seen bits and pieces, but I've seen like where Nicolas Cage does his Nicolas Cage face thing, and that's pretty much it. Like his Nicolas Cage's isms.
Yeah, all of his awesome things. You need to watch that movie because it's so bad, and I love it so much because it's insane. That whole movie's insane. And it made me laugh out loud in parts that you weren't supposed to laugh out loud at. And it's like my favorite type of movie. Like genuinely, and I don't say this trying to be sarcastic or whatever, it might be one of my favorite Marvel movies because I'm like, how did this get made? How did this get made? It's an entity of its own free will. And it's great because it has the cheesiest shticks, like, oh, my love interest and I carved our initials on the side of a tree. And then he like turns to look at the camera and his face turns all the and rock and roll plays, and like his face turns on fire, and I was like, "What the fuck is
He becomes
happening?"
the Ghost Rider.
Oh, it's
Thinking
so
about
hilarious.
love.
Yeah, right. It's like, oh, we're gonna go to our spot on the hill. You're like, what the?
Yeah.
And then
Why do you do the pendants there on a tree?
and there's such good. There's people are trying to talk to him. You know, Johnny Blaze. They're like, Johnny Blaze, you're crazy, man. You're trying to jump a football field on your Evel Knievel motorcycle, and you have to jump over all these helicopters, and their blades are going twice as fast as normal. Like you have a death wish. And he's like watching a TV show that shows a chimpanzee doing karate, and he was like, "This TV show is amazing." I'm like, "What is this movie?"
Right.
Oh man, but yeah, it has the great Nick Cage isms, and
Okay, yeah,
he has the good faces. He has the good one-liners.
yeah.
It's so bad, it's good. And then and I'm gonna spoil the ending because it made me laugh out loud too. It turned into like a Scooby-Doo episode because he learns to use the Ghost Rider powers. Yeah. He knows how to use the Ghost Rider powers, right? And like and this is probably the same as the book. I don't know, but you know, Johnny Blaze wants to save his dad, so he sells his soul to the devil. And he becomes the devil's pawn, like to go and, which is really weird actually, because the devil wants him to go kill bad guys. And then I thought about it, and I was like, so is that to fill up hell? Is that what he's doing? Like to meet quota? Yeah. He needs more people in hell?
More bad guys.
Yeah, more bad guys in hell. I'm running low. Like, please kill the bad guys, and I'll bring them down here. But it was a weird thing. He's like, it's like Charlie's Angels, but Charlie's the devil, and his angels is one guy named Nick Cage. And
Nick Cage and the bike. And the guy
and the motorcycle. Yes. Oh, that guy's awesome. Hell yeah, that guy's badass. Isn't that the guy from Tombstone? Or
I think so. Yeah.
I can't think of his name, but that guy's awesome. He plays the same exact character his entire movie career. But it's a good character, so why not? But yeah, so at the very end, Nick Cage controls his Ghost Rider powers, and he can shoot fire like a wizard and all this other stuff. Mm-hmm. And then the devil comes back and he was like, "Thank you for fulfilling your devilish curse. And now the curse has been lifted. And just give me back the Ghost Rider power, and you will be free to love and live happy through your days, because a deal is a deal." And then Nick Cage like turns around to Eva Longoria, his love interest, and he was like, "I feel like staying Ghost Rider." And like electric guitar plays again.
Eva Mendes, you mean?
Oh yeah. And so he does like I'm gonna stay Ghost Rider, and then this electric guitar squeal like plays, and then I swear on my life, the devil goes, "Ghost Rider, I'll get you yet," and like disappears.
And then it became a second movie.
Yeah, he's like, "You'll pay for this."
So
and I was like, "This is great."
You say you're in that position, you know, your interest, your girlfriend, whatever, is Eva Mendes. You mean to tell me that you would say, "Fuck that, I'm going to be Ghost Rider for the rest of my life"? Right.
Yeah.
Just ride off of this
sunset.
But
it's such a Nick Cage decision. Like, only Nick Cage could make that dumb fucking decision. And you could be like, all right, whatever. But yeah, exactly. And of course, during that movie, she has like half of her tops are undone. And like, she's just like frolicking around, and like there's ass shots in the camera and all this other stuff. And you're like, all right, like fair play. But it's so weird, right? It's so weird about when Marvel movies kind of changed, because you had the early stuff like Ghost Rider, you had Blade,
Blade, X-Men,
the original X-Men, like the Sam Raimi Spider-Man,
Fantastic Four, Sam Raimi Spider-Man, little wonky but like charming at the same time.
Exactly. They have a certain thing to them, right? Like they're kind of gumpy, like comic book movies, right? Like they were just
like dancing Peter Parker in Spider-Man 3.
And like the "It's So Good" pie gif from James Franco, like that type of shit. It's so weird. It's quirky, but it has it has a certain amount of charm to it. So I think was it Iron Man that it really
Iron Man. basically set the tone. I mean,
Yeah.
you have Blade and X-Men that kind of started it all. But
Yeah.
yeah, Iron Man, it was like this is like legit. Like, oh, okay, you guys need to be serious for a moment. Iron Man's here. Yeah,
Yeah.
Iron Man is basically the one that put them on the map in a sense.
Gotcha.
After
Yeah.
all the other movies, the Gumpy movies were out and released.
I just love him so much because, dude, Blade has aged really well. If you go and watch Blade and Blade 2, and I even like Blade Trinity, because Blade Trinity has Triple H with a Pomeranian.
Right, with metal fangs.
Metal fangs, and it has freaking Parker Posey, and it has what's his face? Deadpool.
Ryan Reynolds as non-Deadpool.
Yeah, as non-Deadpool. But funny, he came off of Deadpool filming it the first time. And then did Blade Trinity, so he's in still like amazing shape.
Yeah.
Right? And
exactly.
He grew his beard out because he didn't like wearing the mask, and so he wanted to grow a beard, and they're like, yeah, whatever. And you got Wesley Snipes doing one-liners. And like all those movies are kind of awesome.
I watch Blade because Blade's cool, but at the same time it's Wesley Snipes, right? Yes. Like the last line of the first movie kills me. The last line of the first movie like stays in my heart forever. It's like he kills what's his name? I forgot the guy from the first movie. But yeah, he kills the last guy in the first movie.
Yeah.
This improv line of Oh, go ahead.
Oh, is it Steven Dorff? That guy?
Steven Dorff, that's right. Yeah. E-cig guy, blue stage, whatever.
E-cig.
Yeah, that guy.
He vapes, bro. He vapes.
So they put the camera on Blade. He's like, these motherfuckers always trying to upskill ice skate uphill.
Oh yeah.
And that line makes no kind of sense, but it's such an awesome line that they kept it in. And I think like every kind of like Comic-Con panel or whatever that Wesley Snipes is at, they always ask him about that line, and like it's kind of like the rock star that is known for like the one song, but like he has other stuff too. People keep harking back about the one song. It's that kind of effect. Like I love that line. There's always some motherfucker trying to ice skate uphill. That literally makes no kind of sense.
That's so good. Yeah, but like now that it's almost like all the Marvel movies, the quality has definitely gone up. But
for sure.
It seems like they all kind of follow the formula. Right? Like here's the formula on how to be a successful Marvel movie is you have the characters and they have a quirky thing.
Stay within the Tony Stark sarcastic, snarky comedy.
Even characters that aren't normally like that. Or like the tone, serious things can happen, but then they'll say a one-liner afterwards to break the tension. And then they'll play a real world song and tie that into the story somehow. And
they do that.
Or like, oh, we're going to listen to it on a cassette player. Or, this was my, family's favorite song. And, like that's what they use it. They use that type of stuff as a catalyst. And then, it works. And the formula, has worked so far. But I'm kind of curious on what's next. What's the next turn,
So does that affect your does that affect kind of like not your your judgment in terms of Thor Ragnarok? Because did you see the trailer?
Yes, I did.
Comic-Con? Did it really affect okay, it's becoming a little too much, or is it like you're seeing for me and personally I'm seeing like an evolution of Thor where he's treated as like, oh yeah, he's Asgardian thunder god, like he's like higher than the other people.
Yeah.
But as he's in these other movies with like the Avengers and such, and being with these other superheroes, you kind of, I think with this trailer, for me, you kind of see like becoming more human in a way. Like,
sure.
Like in the beginning of the trailer is like, oh, things happen. I lost my hammer. That kind of still sucks. It still stings a little.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's trying to, I guess, like learn about himself. Like, what is he without the hammer? Like, does that kind of affect, in a sense, like how you see the movie? Like, oh, maybe I don't like that so much, or maybe okay, that's cool.
I actually like it more, because now they're tying these bigger arcs into the character development. And the thing is, I think Marvel movies should take themselves less seriously.
Okay.
I'm of the opinion that they need to be wacky. The reason why I love those old Marvel movies, the original X-Men, the clunky freaking Ghost Rider movie, like those at least understood they were making a comic book movie. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. There's a certain vibe about it that we're just going to make this thing and then it's going to live on its own. And, you know, some people might like it and some people might think it's hot dog shit. But we want to make this movie the way we want to make it. We want Nick Cage to be Johnny Blaze. It seems like they were more likely to make decisions. But here, I think the worst thing is, I don't think it affects Thor Ragnarok as much because they're finally letting the reins off. They're finally like, okay, let's play with this a little bit. But up until now, it feels like I've seen every Marvel movie, even if I haven't. You know what I'm saying?
There's a thing that kind of like is kind of hilarious about it. I think they mentioned that I think the end of the Avengers Infinity War is marks the end of a 22 movie saga.
Jesus.
Think about that for a minute. So like whatever I want to say, I guess Blade is like the beginning point, and then all the way up to Avengers Infinity War Part 2 is the end of a 22 movie saga. So I think like Spider-Man Homecoming 2 and the rest of that is going to be the second saga of whatever they're going to tell in the future.
Yeah.
So like it's crazy to think about it like that, but yeah, at the same time, like I understand what you're saying. You kind of miss the wonkiness of it, and
it's here are guys that are trying to make movies, but they don't quite know how.
Yeah,
like, but now it feels like they got the movie part down now. Like they got it. They know how to pull the heartstrings and do the nice like you know, Deadpool, you rascal. Like they got it. They got that vibe. They understand it and they locked it in. What I'm hoping for, because my favorite comic book movie ever is The Crow. I love The Crow.
Oh yeah.
Because and nobody thinks of it as a comic book film. Because, you know, it has Brandon Lee, it has like this crazy amazing soundtrack with Stone Temple Pilots, and like it made all of these big things even bigger. But it always flies under the radar. And I love that movie because there is nothing, trust me, there is nothing on any of the Marvel or DC or any of that comes close to the tone of The Crow. Like they were so confident in that story because like really the guy's coming back from the dead and like all these drug dealers are actually doing cocaine on screen and like you know what I mean? Like it's a hard movie and it's not I think the closest I've seen is one of the Blade films whenever they had the big the club scene where over the sprinkler system blood came out.
Oh, blood, yeah.
And I was like, that's a cool idea. Like, all right, let's get a little, you know, a little macabre, a little darker tone. But as far as The Crow, it was just so intense because it felt like a real world. It felt like this is a real place. There's nothing fantastical about it. It's like what you felt like. What would I do in that situation? But in these newer Marvel films, I would never be in that situation. I would never, ever. The sky's gonna open and like the moon is gonna crash into the earth. Nothing will ever happen like that. But you and your wife get murdered on Halloween. And a year later, a raven brings your dead ass back to life.
Right.
Like what are you gonna do about it? Like and now you're invincible. By the way, like you can feel pain, but it leaves your wounds heal. What are you going to do? You're going to do what anyone would do, and you're going to go get revenge on those people that killed you and your wife. Like that's what's happening. And so I can 1-to-1 see it. I can see that as a logical step. Like yes, but with a lot of the other stuff, it's so fantastical that I can't invest myself in it. Like, I can't be like, well, now I'm going to be in the arena fight with Thor and Hulk. And, like, it's cool to watch. and I like to look at it,
Yeah.
and it has funny one-liners, and it's nice and entertaining, but there's no investment anymore. And that's what I'm hoping they kind of evolve out of. Is sort of, yeah, it's a comic book movie, but it shouldn't be vapid. It shouldn't be one of those deals that, like, okay, so you've seen every Captain America film, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Can you legit explain to me the plot difference between the first two?
The first two.
Okay. So you have General Captain America, whatever duder, and then you have Winter Soldier, which you had to introduce that. But overall, to me, those movies kind of felt the same.
Yeah, I kind of correlate one as being like, his upbringings and how he got basically origin story movie. And then you fast forward to Winter Soldier, he has to deal with today. Like, he's been frozen or whatever. He's been in ice for like how many years, whatever, for like 40 or 60 years or something like that. So he has to deal with things of today, and he's still unfamiliar with it, but at the same time he's grasping things at a fast rate. And so as he's kind of getting acclimated to things of that's going on today, something from his past brings him back. Like, this is my best friend. I thought he was dead.
Yeah.
And then, but then you find out, I mean, you watch the movie, you find out he's brainwashed. Because he was taken by Russian, Russian spies or whatnot, or the Soviet Union, and they brainwashed him to be like a killing soldier.
Right.
So he goes out of his way to bring him back, and then it kind of stems from what Civil War would be. I think that was the third movie.
Yeah.
So yeah, like it's a continuation of his arc of just how he's becoming what he is in today's age, because he came from like old values and stuff. I mean, that's how I see it.
Right. And that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. But I was gonna say, like, how you were just talking about The Crow. I think I would correlate who The Crow is in terms of that movie and what it is to what, as of right now, Netflix Marvel is doing, because it's more of the serious tone. You have Daredevil, Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, and Iron Fist. More of the serious stuff you're seeing. Plus, with Daredevil season 2, you have the Punisher, and if given an R rating or like near X rating, the Punisher would be. Not to compare The Crow to the Punisher, but like the Punisher would be at that level.
Yeah, I think so.
More so.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
The violence and such, because the Punisher just doesn't give a fuck whatsoever. He just wants to kill bad guys because he gets haunted by the fact that the mafia killed his family at a picnic type of thing. So yeah, like if given, like in terms of a movie, if given an R rating or a near X rating, Punisher would just be off the charts, like violent.
Yeah.
But you get with the previous Punisher movies, you kind of don't see that.
That's true, and I know they're doing the show, right? They're
doing the show, has Punisher in it, not officially as a team member, but they're gathering everybody, support characters and such. Yeah. So Punisher is going to show up, and then he's in season 2 of Daredevil, which I still need it. I finished season 1, but I'm going through all the, I think, in order. Like, I think Daredevil was first, and then Jessica Jones, and then I believe season 2 of Daredevil, and then you go to Luke Cage, and after Luke Cage is Iron Fist, and then once Defenders come out, then I can get to that. But
there's so
a lot.
Much.
There's just a lot going on.
God, there's just so much. Okay, and kind of on the same related topic, before I forget, I wanted to bring this up, and it does correlate to Thor. It also correlates to oh God, what was the other movie where they were talking about runtimes? So
they were mentioning that Thor is going to be the shortest runtime movie.
Yes. So okay. So what are your thoughts on that? Because I have a very solid opinion about it, but I'd love to hear your thoughts about how, okay, so Thor Ragnarok is going to be the shortest runtime. It's going to deal with the Thor stuff. It's going to deal with Ragnarok, and it's going to deal with Planet Hulk. What do you think? It's going to be like an hour and 40 minutes.
you know, movies used to run that at that time before. You know,
Bingo! Holy shit! Like all
and
these,
I'll be
yeah.
yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, well, I'm just saying, all these people. Well, if it's not 3.5 hours long, it's like I got shit to
No,
do.
I gotta go somewhere. I
I
want to either go
gotta,
to sleep or I want to go eat or I
I
gotta
gotta
go somewhere
be
else.
places, man.
Yeah,
Jesus.
like that's fine. An hour and 40 minutes is fine. It'll feel short because we're so used to 2 hours, 2 hour plus,
Yeah.
near 3 hour movies. It'll be because they'll feel like short. But like, dude, I was, me and you, we were brought up on like hour 30 is like the
That's
longest
it.
movie we've ever seen.
90 minutes.
Yeah,
You wrote a script and it was 90 pages. Because
yeah,
that runtime is 90 minutes. And if it was 91 minutes, they would tear your ass apart and you would have to cut it. Like, hell, there are hour and 4 minute movies out there that are great.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
You just gotta pack it in and make it edit well and make it
yeah,
sure it flows properly. And I mean, that's easier said than done, of course, but like, it's possible.
it's a skill. Here's the thing, and I can correlate it to music. I would
Yeah.
much rather hear a minute and 45-second Beatles song than
Sure.
some like 35 fucking minute grand opus. Here's a guy's idea that he had, and it's a bunch of noises for half an hour. Like, at some point, you're
Right.
just rambling. But if you can take the essence of a song and put it down to like a minute and 45 seconds, and it's catchy and you remember it,
Yeah.
that's a true virtuoso. Like, that is somebody that understands it to a T and can get the most out of very little. And I think, the hour 30-minute, hour 45-minute runtime is perfect because it forces you to make decisions. You have to cut it. You have to edit. You have to get the best take. You have to use this. You have to get from point A to point B. You have to, like, things have to happen. You can't just I love Lord of the Rings. I love it. I've read all like 1,400 pages of that book once a year since I was like 15.
Mhm.
The movies weren't long enough, but those are also 4.5 hour long movies each.
Yeah.
I would never force anyone. Like, I loved it. I thought it was great. He also did a 3.5 hour long King Kong movie.
Mhm.
Which I loved because I was like, oh, King Kong's his favorite movie and he gets to remake his favorite movie. And if I remade my favorite movie, it would be 40 hours long, so it was, so I get it as far as the creator side of it, but Jesus, for an audience, oh my God.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I still haven't seen Interstellar. I really want to see it.
Mhm.
But that Christopher Nolan, Matthew McConaughey, like time travel space movie, that shit is 3 hours long. I ain't got that kind of time. Like,
Yeah.
and then there's like Spectre, that James Bond movie, 2 hours and 35 minutes. What the fuck is James Bond doing for 2 hours and 35 minutes? Do I watch him eat? Like, does he eat an actual? Does he cook a full meal like live and then eat it, and then he goes out and goes about his day?
On Twitch. He's on Twitch doing his mission, and he's like, "I gotta go eat.
I gotta stream, guys."
And then he gets his drink, shaken, not stirred.
I'm trying to get that affiliate. I need to get my hours in.
I like the lower creating here.
Yeah, I like this James Bond a lot. That he's some dude bro that has to he has to get in his Twitch hours.
His Twitch days is 3 times a week.
I scheduled it. I got to do it.
I
said it on Twitter. I was going to do it. I better go and do it.
Dude, that reminds me. I said I was going to stream. That totally didn't happen. But then again, I mean, we're going back and forth on topics, but I have a current problem with what's going on with streaming.
Yeah, so tell me about this.
So I streamed for the first time. What was it? Sunday. Yeah, Sunday night.
I think so.
So I streamed for the first time back again, not Sunday night, but I was running into a lot of issues because I don't know exactly what happened with what happened back then to now. But when I was putting the exact setup that I was trying to remember, when I was trying to connect when I was ready to go stream, it wouldn't let me connect to Twitch, right?
Hmm.
So like I would log in, I put my login info and like press stream, and they tell me to put my login info again. I was like, okay, I'll do that, and it says can't let's see, can't find streaming server. Check your internet connection. Now, my setup is a little different than what you're supposed to have. I told Wes before when I first started streaming, I was able to stream wirelessly, which is not something you shouldn't do. But like, I guess if you have the internet fast enough, it is possible. It's just not very effective.
Mm-hmm.
But I was able to do that when I was streaming for the first time, or my first year of Twitch, whatever it is.
Yeah,
I was able to stream wirelessly, and it was fine. I had no problems. I don't know if there was any issues on people that were watching on their end, but I was streaming like more so like PS1, PS2 games,
mm-hmm.
and then the occasional PS3 game. So fast forward to now, and like it won't connect whatsoever. I tried removing my account from the Elgato application,
Mm-hmm.
and then I tried to sign it back, add it back in. It wasn't working then, and then let's see, yeah, it just kept saying the same thing. Can't find streaming server. Check your internet connection, and I was picking. Basically picking Twitch HQ, which is in San Francisco. So it should be the fastest, right?
Oh, sure.
Yeah, it wouldn't go through. I was like, I was getting really frustrated because I was like, man, I want to get back into streaming, but I tried the other places. I tried YouTube, and it worked fine, as if it was back then. It worked fine. I could stream there. I was like, oh well,
wow.
I guess I have an alternative, but but because of my current situation, the laptop that I use. It's my sister-in-law's work laptop basically, but it stays at the house.
Yeah.
So we don't have what's the word, mod role. We don't have mod roles, so like we can't install or update anything. So whatever I had installed before on that laptop with the Elgato, it stays there. Yeah. I can't update it to the current version, which may be the problem, right?
Maybe so. Yeah.
I'm really frustrated. I'm really frustrated at this point. I'm like, oh man, because I want to get back to Twitch. Not so much that I don't care about YouTube, but I want to get back with my peoples over at Twitch.
Sure. Yeah, built-in audience.
So, yeah. So like that's my current dilemma. Like I can stream on YouTube, which is fine. Then I could just put it on the channel, which I was going to do anyway. But then again, if I can't update what my current version of Elgato is, it may look like I can't stream to Twitch. So basically, I have to wait for getting enough money to get a new laptop of our own, and then being able to download the Elgato app, and then update it from there, and then I should be fine with my old setup. But that's my current dilemma. Like I'm super frustrated, but I don't want to stream like the role-playing games just yet, because I want that for Twitch, basically. So, everybody can experience the experiences that I'm experiencing and all that stuff, and we all react to it at the same time. But like as of right now, I'm just doing like TVS2, which I forgot that I really love that game. Like
it's a good
it's
game.
A really hype game for me. It's fun. It's a fun game, So like I can do that. That's fine. Or play like other sort of beat 'em ups, or that's not too like, because I know like with the audience that I was grabbing, it was more of the RPG people. So
like Suikoden.
That's my Suikoden and Yakuza, and people didn't know that Yakuza was basically an RPG. So that's my current dilemma, and I'm hoping either it would fix itself, or that somehow, some way, we get a new laptop sooner than later, and then be able to do it from there. But that's my little progress report with returning back to streaming, not so much Twitch, but streaming.
Gotcha. Yeah, I think the getting like a dedicated kind of stream laptop type thing would probably be the best bet. I bet, just considering, we work with tech all the time at work, if it's a work computer, or if like her work gave it to her, it's probably not kind of the fastest thing on the planet anyway.
It's old. it's old at this point. We had it for like
Yeah.
a few years, and
Oh
I
yeah.
mean they haven't asked for it back, but like it's what
Right.
we have, and so
Gotcha.
like it's,
Use what you
yeah, you
got.
know,
Yeah.
yeah,
Absolutely.
use what you get. That's how we started in our creation phase. So
Yeah.
what we have.
Yeah.
But
That's
how's streaming? How's streaming for you? You have a few under your belt right now. You just did Resident Evil 6, and you
yeah.
got pleasantly surprised with that game.
So
How's streaming so far
yeah,
so far
streaming's
this
been
support?
good. I feel like because right now July is kind of crazy. Because I have my daughter the whole month, and
Yeah.
like there's so many. We moved to a different place, so we got our own office. We got all that good stuff.
Hmm.
The only thing is, the time for me to get to work has tripled. So my
Oh, okay.
commute is like triple what it used to be. Because
Oh, that sucks.
it used to take me like 8 minutes to get to work. Now
Mhm.
it takes me like 35 minutes to get to work. So
Okay.
we're
Yeah.
working, 4 10-hour days, which is actually
Right.
closer because you only get like a half hour lunch. Um, so I mean, you're there putting in the time. So
Mhm.
I get home at like 7:15 every night. So
Oh, wow.
then it's like, okay, I leave at 7 in the morning, get home at 7:15. Then we got to eat. We got to get,
Yeah.
daughter in bed. We got to do all this other stuff. By that time, it's like 9:45. Then it's like, okay,
Yeah, you're doing the opposite of what you were doing before. You were streaming. Well, you weren't working at the time, but you were streaming like from day to afternoon or afternoon to night.
yes,
Now
exactly.
because you have your job, you stream basically as soon as you get everything in order, and once you're home, and then stream for like a couple hours. But
Yeah.
it's better than nothing.
Exactly, and that's kind of what we're at right now. Because of course, I'm
Yeah.
newly married. Want to spend time with the wife. We got plans. We
Mhm.
got we want to watch a movie together. We want to do all that type of stuff. So, kind of
Yeah.
what our agreement was is okay. The maximum I will stream is 3 times a week. Like,
Hmm.
I'm just putting that. I looked at what the requirements were for the affiliate thing, and I was like, that's my main goal. Just to get that sub button, the affiliate, to hang out with my people.
Yeah.
3 times a week.
Yeah.
That's all I can do. Plus, you have to consider back when I did Twitch the first time, I didn't have stuff on a YouTube channel. I didn't have unboxing. I didn't
Right.
have
Yeah.
like 4 other shows that I could do. So now
Hmm.
it's like, if I have 3 videos pending for editing for the YouTube channel, do I do that or do I stream?
Hmm.
Like, which one is
Yeah.
worth more of my time? And
Yeah.
then
That's the balance act we all have to do.
it's tough, and it's like, okay, what's the right call? And I mean, hell, even like brothering around, we recorded for an hour and
Hmm.
30 minutes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that's a thing. So
Yeah.
we got at least once a week that we're recording a show, 3 times a week that we're doing a stream. We do an
Hmm.
average of 2 videos a week for the YouTube channel. Like, that's everything. You know what I mean? And like, if I'm getting home like past
And we
dinner
have full time
time,
jobs.
and we
Yeah,
have the 40-hour a week jobs with sometimes with overtime. So
with
you're like,
overtime and yeah.
it's wild. You try to balance it out. Now, whenever we go back to the normal schedule and I'm getting out of work at like 4:45 or 5, I think it'll be a little easier because I'll get home earlier. All the stuff will be done earlier. I'll be able to
Yeah.
stream a little bit before, nighttime or bed or whatever. Like, I'll be able to do that because, yeah, I mean, if I have to wake up at 5:45, whenever I
Right.
stream, I go to bed at 1 because
Mhm.
I end the stream at 12:30.
Yeah.
Then export it all, get it uploading, then go to bed at 1, and then wake up at 5:45. Like,
Yeah,
that's a
right.
tough gig. Like,
Yeah.
so it's trying to find that balance. I love it though. Like, once I'm streaming, I feel it like all the ring rust is going out.
That's good.
It doesn't feel stressful or weird, or I'm not nervous, or because I'm just kicking back and playing. And yeah, with
Yeah.
games like Resident Evil 6, um, the game's deceptively good. Like, there are parts of that game that make it really enjoyable. I can see why a
Mhm.
lot of Resident Evil people didn't like it, but I think it's great. Like, I think it's funny.
Yeah.
Um,
I think what I've always hear about that game is Leon's campaign is great. Chris's campaign is all right, and then I believe Jake the last one or whatever. Jake's campaign is basically the worst one, and it doesn't stay consistent. And I guess that's where I guess people
Gotcha.
are disappointed because it
I see.
fluctuates.
Oh,
But
right, right.
yeah, I mean, you're. I know. I was watching it. I was there from beginning to end in your stream. And I was like, yeah,
Hmm.
this looks fun. You know,
Yeah, it's
does it?
fun. I mean,
It's serious in tone, but like it looks fun,
yeah,
right?
it
So like,
plays well,
can't
and
go wrong
yet
with that.
doesn't take itself way too serious. It's like a cheesy B movie, and
Yeah,
that's kind of what I want out of my Resident Evil. Is like be a little hammy, be a little hokey. It's fine. Um, and yeah, and like I have some plans for some other stuff, and we're planning
hmm
retro nights and that type of stuff. So it's good to be back. It really is, and it's a lot of fun, and it's funny. Everything else is so stressful, and trying to balance everything. But then getting that time under the belt, and I'll probably stream again this weekend, but I'll have family
yeah,
visiting, so I'll have to find an hour block to where like everybody's taking a nap, and then like sneak
yeah,
away.
right,
You know what
right,
I
yeah,
mean?
yeah,
And like get it
yeah.
all going that way. So
And this is what we talked about before too. That doing this as a main job it's stressful, right?
mhm.
Do it like streaming and providing content and either trying to get that sub button, the top tier sub button, or getting like what was it? Getting a network if you're on the YouTube side of it, you
Yeah,
know,
yep,
so you can get paid and such. If doing this full time is stressful because you got to think about like, okay, what's my next move? I got to think about this. I got to make sure either those videos are getting like really high views, or I got to make sure that everybody's watching my stream and I get the most viewers.
hmm
And then the other side of that coin is where we're at is it's more of a side thing. We're putting all of our energy that's not poured into work into this thing that we do,
yeah,
whether it's YouTube, streaming, creating shows and whatnot, podcasts, uh, as a side thing. But it's fun because it's like it kind of it's not so much of an escape from what we do at everyday life, but it's like it's the enjoyment of life
yes,
that our creativity is getting like getting a workout, and we get
yeah.
to
It's our
pour
outlet.
all that
Yeah,
energy. Yeah, it's our outlet. We pour our energy into it. So like I enjoy this more than I would. I mean, I've seen you do it, right? We
hmm
talked about this before too. Seen you do it full time, and like it was fun. It was great. I get to watch you from 8 o'clock in the morning or whatever till like till before I have to go to work. But you were busting your ass, and
yeah,
I
man.
knew you were busting your ass, right? Having short like restroom breaks and short lunch breaks, and then get back into streaming and try to be entertaining. And then compared to now where you can just relax and you can play the
Yeah, I
video
don't.
game. You can.
Yeah, exactly, and that's kind of the best part about it. And I think even whenever you were playing,
Mhm.
Capcom versus SNK, it's like here are games that we love to play, or here are games that we've never
Yeah,
played before, but let's break into them and see what they're about. And it's nice because it's whenever you're trying to do it full time, the focus is on you, right? It's
right.
like what do I need to do to get more viewers? What do I need to do to get a sub button? What do I need to do to grow the brand or whatever? Like
Yeah,
all that pressure's on you. It's on your shoulders. You make those decisions, and everything that you come up with, that it's either a success or a failure based on you. But
yeah,
now, because it's a part-time thing, because it's only a few days a week, and like there'll be some weeks I don't do it at all, and that's fine. And
right.
right now to me it's not because I'm like, damn it, if I said I'm coming back, I want to come back.
Yeah,
I
right.
want to do it a little bit at least once a week, twice a week, but hopefully 3 times a week. But
Right.
the pressure's not on you as a creator anymore. It's more about let's relax a little bit and play this game.
Yeah, exactly.
It's my unwind time. It's my let's just hang out with
You don't.
like-minded people. Let's say funny
Yeah.
jokes. Um,
You don't have to follow the trend of like, oh, everybody's streaming this. I should stream this because
yeah. Oh,
it's
who
getting most of the
cares?
viewers. Like, no, dude. Like,
Uh,
I'm gonna stream Resident Evil 6, and it's like a how many years old game? Because
Absolute
I heard it was like
2012
wonky and
or
crazy.
11.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. That's like a 5 or 6 year old game, and yeah, I'm
right.
totally fine with it because hell, I never. It's new to me, so it's. I think that's the entertaining part. Is here's a game that has almost a half a decade has gone by since its
Right.
release, but I'm playing it for the first time. So people
Yeah.
that are like well versed in Resident Evil 6 could watch it and be like, "Oh, that guy's an idiot. Like he doesn't know what he's doing." Or
Right.
other people that never played it are like, "Oh, cool. He hasn't played it either. So I'm going to watch
Yeah.
him because, he's going to have the same reactions I do."
Yeah.
And
Or
there's
or or
yeah.
back to the the guy that says like they played it like, oh, he's about, so they can say like, oh, he's about to get into this. I want to see what his reaction is.
Yes, exactly. So
Like
they
you
have
kind of
one up
relive
on you.
the experiences that they had to
Bingo.
see what you're gonna do. Yeah,
A-
yeah, for sure.
Absolutely. And there's something to that. But the nice thing is that's kind of built in at this point. Because what I have noticed is Twitch has changed a lot. And we
Yeah.
mentioned it a little bit on the first show, not as much on the second show, but on the first one.
Right.
Just even the way that chat is interacting with the streamer is different. Like the attitude has changed.
What do you notice? Okay, yeah, I was gonna ask, what do you notice in terms of
Yeah,
that?
so it's like the attitude has changed, but to me, I
Mhm.
like it better because instead of dealing with more trolls, instead of dealing
Mhm.
with memes and people, I think are kind of tired of that shit. So now they're looking for streamers or content creators that are genuine and that really want to invest the time in the people
Right.
because they're more willing to actually communicate with you. They're more willing to I don't know, like discuss random topics. Like that's why I always
Yeah.
loved doing it whenever we did it. Is like we would talk about, is a hamburger a sandwich? Just
Okay.
random
Yeah,
ass stuff.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
that would go on for hours, and people would just yell at each other about it, and it was hilarious. And you know what I mean? But that's kind of what our whole shtick was anyway. Like whenever we started this stuff, we just wanted it as a way to hang out with other people.
Yeah.
And it
Totally.
feels like Twitch is more readily available to hang out in. It used to be very, I have a new variety show. I'm going to
Mhm.
entertain you. I'm going to, come watch me, the crazy clown man, and I'm going to do funny antics. And there's still some of that. But now it's
Mhm.
like people just want to watch people play Resident Evil 6. It seems like
Play
the
some
stakes,
games. Yeah.
yeah, the stakes are a little lower. Now that that's the other blessing of that affiliate program is
Mhm.
the stakes aren't super high anymore. You don't have to be the wackiest fucking person and like have whiteboards and draw a Sharpie on your face, and
Yeah.
you don't have to do that stuff. You can just truly be yourself, and good things will come of it if you put in the time, you put in the energy, you talk to your people, you get people wanting to watch you. Everything else is gravy. You don't have to get 500 live viewers at a time. Like, no.
Right.
Who has that kind of time? I mean, there's millions of people that stream on Twitch now. So, sure, if you were there when Twitch first started, you had a much higher likelihood to get quote unquote Twitch famous because there's only 5,000 people worldwide that would
Yeah.
stream to Twitch. Everyone else was a viewer. But now you have millions of people creating content.
Yeah.
It's
And
it's
you gotta
it's
find
yeah,
the gems.
it's easier to get 5 regulars than 500
Right.
regulars. It's doable. It's something that you can really dedicate yourself to. You can really get it going, and yeah, you can get that affiliate status symbol. You can get whatever. You can get rewarded. Um,
Mhm.
it's just different. It's more low key. They're introducing IRL and social eating and creative and all these other things. So really, it's spreading things out. It's giving people room to breathe. You don't have to. Oh well, what's Lyric playing? What's Soda Poppin' playing? Well, I better play the
Right.
same game Soda Poppin' is, and hopefully some of his viewers come to my stream. Like that shit's over. At least for the experienced people. Some of the
Mhm.
newbies might still think that's a good idea, but nah, not so much.
Yeah.
Because hate to break it to you, you are not taking away Soda Poppin's viewers. It's just not going to happen. His 5
Right.
million viewers a minute, like it's not going to happen. Sorry, Haas. You know, but yeah, the pressure is different. But it's nicer because people just want to watch people play video games now, and that's for the best for everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to think if there was any other random topic. I felt like there was another thing I was going to ask you about.
Yeah, we had some topics on the dartboard, but I mean, there was games that I've been looking at that have been like, oh, maybe you can be streaming these.
That's right. Yes.
Just to be different from than what I'm usually seeing, I guess. But then again, I'm following specific games.
Right.
But like, I hear these games are like great, and I'm like, oh yeah, I want to see what Wes would
see what that's about
when it comes to these games. But yeah, like I recommended a game called Beat Cop.
Yeah.
And I think there's a few cop games on Steam, but this one caught my attention because Super Best Friends, they played like a part 1 and part 2 of it, and it looked interesting. It was pixel art, and I think the story is that you're a detective that got demoted to beat cop because for whatever reason you're involved with a murder / stolen diamonds thing.
Oh.
So you get demoted to beat cop, and you're basically learning the ropes again, and you're in charge of this beat, basically like a number of blocks on the street, and so you're basically getting to know these people on the street. So yeah, in the beginning you're getting to know the people, and then like you're seeing like, oh, okay, so this is how this block is, and you're doing things, you're making relationships with these people because either they may help you on your investigation, because the main character's name is like Jack Kelly. This is literally like
Nice.
80s names.
Nice.
It's like the black captain that's like yelling you like, I got the district attorney up my ass, sort of thing. It's literally 80s like cop, right? So yeah, that's it. Yeah, you're having relationships with all these people. They may help you, or they may want you to help them to, like say there's two sorts of groups out there, and then the ones like the paisano, Italians type thing, and like like maybe you should help. Maybe you should help us out because we can help scratch your back or whatever. And then the other side is like, I think it's a not Italians, but like black people group or gang, whatever.
Yeah.
Saying like, yeah, because you should help us out because we know the streets or whatever, and such and such. So you balance this act between the Italians and black people, and it gets frisky because you don't, either you want to find out what happened on your own, or you may want to actually ask for help from one of these two groups.
Mm-hmm.
But this is like part of the game. But like the main thing you're doing is, if you're seeing somebody that's like double parked, because it's like you're giving tickets to these cars, you
yeah.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Oh, there we go. There we go.
Okay. All right. Back. So where was it cut off? Sorry.
So it was talking about giving like parking tickets.
I'm sorry. Say that again.
So it was like giving parking tickets.
Oh wow. So okay, so it's way long.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, you're giving parking tickets, whether it's like parked at a red zone or meter ran out, and then they're bribing you. They're trying to bribe you, so you don't ticket them. So you're deciding if you want to ticket it, receive their bribe
Right,
or
right.
whatnot. But yeah, that's pretty much what beat cop is. Like you're basically being a beat cop, and you're stopping robbers, you're stopping people, but at the same time, you may be a little crooked, maybe not. Depends what you
Ah,
do. Decide. So
yeah.
that's beat cop. So the
Heck
other
yeah.
game, as I was explaining, I didn't realize I was the sound cut off. But the other game I was explaining was I think it just released and it's really popular right now. It's called Dream Daddy, right? So
Yes.
this is a dating sim game where you create a daddy. You're a dad. Wes is a dad, has a
Yep.
daughter and stuff.
True. True.
Yeah, it's a yeah. You create a dad, and you're in this makeshift land of like all these other daddies that other like. That, and so the purpose of this game is basically just you know get to know these dads, and something happens, great. If not, that's fine too. So you see all sorts of dads. Like you see like some guy that works at like a coffee shop. You'll see another one being like a stay-at-home dad, and another one the bad boy dad with the leather jacket and fights and stuff, being like Billy Badass, but like yeah, like oh, I don't care about my fucking kids, but I care about my kids. So it's not just sort of thing.
Yeah, yeah.
So you're trying to get with these dads, and then I think there was like somebody complained on Twitter because they didn't realize it was a gay dating dad sim, and that tweet got that tweet went viral because like you, how can you not know what a game called Dream Daddy is and
Yeah,
not expect that
exactly.
it's a
It's like,
gay
come on now.
dating sim? So, anyways, yeah, you make your dad and like you try to get with other dads, and
That's
it gets a little
amazing.
competitive. It gets a little competitive because like they're bragging about their daughter, and you're not taking highly likely of that because you have a daughter of your own, and you think your daughter's the
Mm.
best, and they're
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that sort of
That's
that sort
insane.
of thing. So
That's
like
so
yeah,
good.
again, it's everybody's playing it at the same time. I would love to see what Kami thinks and like who's Kami gonna get with, which dad is he gonna get with,
Oh,
sort of thing.
yeah. Go after the dad with that heart of gold, but the rebel
Right,
dad.
right, right.
Because
Yeah,
and you know who he is. He's the one that he says he's not going to
yeah,
go to his kid's recital, but he's there in the back, like against the wall, smoking a cigarette in this no
yeah.
smoking part, and then like leaves before the credits roll. Like
There you
that's who
go.
it is.
There you go.
That's
and then
amazing.
and then the final game. I was actually looking for it, and I think it just got removed from Steam. It was called House Party,
Oh yeah.
and yeah, so I guess it got removed because I can't find it anywhere. I was like, wait, I know I've seen this game earlier. Like, where is it? Because they were another super best again. Super best friends were talking about it because he played Matt McMuscles played it over the weekend. He was enjoying it. Basically, you're in this house party, but the guy that's hosting it is basically like a straight edge guy, and he doesn't
Yeah.
like alcohol or whatever like to be happening in his party. But everybody's bored to death in this party, right?
Yeah.
At the same time, nobody can leave. I guess people are trying to leave, but this guy's so straight edge and he's steroided up that like he's kind of punking people like you better not
Right.
leave or else I'll beat your ass
Right.
type of thing.
Right.
But so yeah, so that's all happening. Like yeah, you're trapped in the party, or is the party trapped with you, right? Sort of
Ah.
thing, sort of thing. So like yeah, you're walking around just getting to know. Basically, it's a lot of girls in this party, and you're basically getting to know them. And same thing, kind of like Dream Daddy, you're trying to get with them. Um, I think there is nudity in there, but I don't know if that's the reason why it got
Maybe.
removed,
Oh,
or
that's
maybe it was
hilarious.
showing the fact that there was like I guess like sexual things they were actually showing it sort of thing too.
Oh, gotcha.
So
Right.
that may be the reason why it got removed. But people, I saw like their videos on their Steam page. People were streaming it. PewDiePie was streaming it. He just wasn't showing the sexual parts, right? But like saw a girl that was on her knees and in front of the guy, and like
Oh
okay, well, I
shit.
guess something is happening there.
Yeah.
You hear the zip of the pants and that sort of thing, and so but at the same time, straight edge is trying to look for all these like all the troublemakers. So like if you get caught, trying to get laid, he's gonna try to beat you up. At the same time,
Right.
you're trying to defend yourself too.
Oh,
And
that's
so
hilarious.
yeah, like it's weird. It's almost like Friday the 13th, but at the same time, like you're trying to get away with stuff, getting away with like getting laid, but like he's trying to find or he's trying to police the entire party, make sure nobody's acting drunk or being stupid. But yeah, House Party, if it ever comes back, I would say
Gotta jump on it.
check that game out. Yeah, jump on it. Just I would say that's a streamable game
For sure. And
that
it reminds me of what is that? I think it's called Who's Your Daddy? And you could either play, it's a 2-player game, and you can either play as the dad or the baby, and then, or it might be called like Don't Kill the Baby, or something like that, to where you could play as the baby.
You play as the baby, or you're the dad, or something.
Yeah,
sort of thing.
yes, yeah, and your mission,
you have to block the baby's path of because the baby will try to grab everything.
Yes, the baby can, and you as the baby, you can like. Go upstairs and throw yourself off a staircase, and like you could do insane
drink,
stuff.
Like
bleach,
bleach. It gets really dark.
It's so hilarious.
But your role as a dad is trying to block all that from happening. So that there's a timer to block the baby from doing whatever the baby's going to do. But the baby's going to try to do whatever they can to off
themselves. So ridiculous.
It sucks, dude. But yeah, I've seen people play that game, and it goes nuts. Like it could almost be esports, like if it wasn't so.
Oh, can you imagine that? Like have that at Evo.
Oh my gosh, the baby's going for the bleach. Oh no, but the daddy just put daddy locks on or baby locks on it.
Baby locks on it. Oh, and it looks like he kept the knife out on the table.
Yeah, get the knife off the table. Look at those footsies.
Yeah.
The combos here. It's crazy. But yeah. Oh, dude. But yeah, those are some games. I've been looking at indie games a lot because I hear some games that I like. Oh, maybe I should check. Or I hear games from other podcasts, and like I got to take a look at what they're talking about. And come to find out, it's like either super dark or it's like hilarious, and it's not the usual game that you see streamed. So
right, that's true. That's a fair play. Yeah. And trying to find those games like off the beaten path, that's a lot of fun too. Because I mean, that's one of our most popular power hours was a Yandere simulator or whatever it was.
Yeah. And so like so like as we were doing that episode, everybody was freaking out. Like, what kind of game is this?
Yeah.
Like, how did you, Marco? Where did you find this sort of?
Where in the world did you find it? Yeah.
Dude, it's the internet, man. Just listen to podcasts. And
yeah, that's it.
Like they were like virgins in like the internet sort of thing. It was hilarious just reading the reactions. Like Sin Striker was so like a gasp, It was hilarious.
And then I love that we got in early, and then they got it to where now it's banned from everything, and it's like
got it before it got banned. That's funny.
It's so wild. It's so hilarious.
That's true.
Oh man. But see, we're ahead of the curve yet again.
Yeah.
Yet again.
See? There was that chat bot people were looking at. I was like, hey, we gotta look at that chat bot.
Gotta get it.
Yeah.
And then there was Agario that we looked at.
Yeah, Agario. Yeah.
Just the hot hits.
Yeah, man. It's hot hits, hot internet hits, hot internet takes.
The hottest takes. Scorching. Yeah. Scorching takes. Right? Oh man. Right. But I think that'll do it for episode number 32 of Brethren Around. But yeah, you can of course hit us up on Twitter, twitter.com/comedyhobo for myself, and twitter.com/MarcoPolo177 for that guy right there. And then, you know what? Hit us up on Twitch. Why not, right? Twitch.tv/comedyhobo. And then the old twitch.tv/nerdinthebay. Of course, follow us on YouTube, which you're probably watching the archive right now. If so, thank you so much. That's youtube.com/user/commyv2. And then over there, we got youtube.com/nerdinthebay. Easy peasy to remember. And especially if the live streams are going there to that YouTube.
Yeah.
Follow that YouTube, man. Everyone should do that. That's all I'm
getting
saying.
my fighting game reactions back. So if you're down for that, take a look.
Heck yeah, playing the good ones too. But yeah, And that'll be our time, but we will see you guys next week. And from what I hear, we may have a special guest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We
getting it. More scorching takes are gonna
exactly.
are gonna happen next week. But yeah, guys, that's our time.
It's the chat bot again.
We actually have Yandere herself will be on the podcast. Great. Sam, Metroid is a girl. Confirmed here first. Oh, yeah. That's our time, guys.
I'm wearing turquoise underwear. So
that's right.
Oh man.